Hi guys, this drawing here will be used as an example to help you to prepare for your test 1. Now it's important that you'll be able to draw very fast. You should be able to read your drawing, then start drawing up the drawing, and then once you have the 3D object, you will then generate drawings, dimension it, and fill in the title block and submit. The file that you will submit will be the last one. So okay, let's start off and look at this drawing. We're having a circle there with a hole through it, and if we go straight across, that's the length. It's a cylinder, and that's also a type of cylinder there, but it's a half cylinder. If you go through, you can see that the hole goes right through, and it's also have a type of cylindrical shape. And then obviously we're having this at the bottom, that is left there at the bottom. You can see that your section line there cuts right through, it goes off to the right, and it cuts through the hole. So the hole is also being shown there at that point. And I'm going to start to draw. Click, drag, click, and that's all left click. I'm going to go straight along that line there. Click, drag, and click. Click, drag, and click. That's all left click. Here we have 35. Your time is very, very important here. 16, 29, 24. Let's just go look at quickly if one of these, because these dimensions doesn't make sense. It's a radius of 29. So we've got 58 and we've got 24. The distance between these two circles, we've got a distance of 98 minus 38 will give you 60. From one circle to the other. Out to the side, and we've got 60. Okay, there we have that, and I'm going to now draw a rectangle right here at the bottom. The distance of this rectangle is 98. We got 98 there. Enter. We got a height of 16 and a length of 140. The circle needs to be in the center, so I'm going to draw a line here to be able to adjust it to the center. There's a line, and I'm going to go to constraints and to coincident. It will help you to position things nicely. There I'm having a little dot in the center there to connect to that line. Left click and left click, and there we have that in the center. No problem here. If you have a misalignment on your drawing, you can just go click on one circle, then the next, go down to the bottom and make that 0. Now everything is nicely constrained and aligned. I can see here there's another rectangle needed at that point, and that is 64. However, I have no height there. There's absolutely no height. But it says all radii to be taken as 5. Which is unspecified. So the distance from there to there will be 5. It's a radius of 5. So the height is 5 of the rectangle and the length is 64. Drawing on there. And back to our constraints. Coincident. Let's look for the center point of this rectangle. There we go. And with the next one, there we go. So click on the next one as well. So it's a left click and a left click. will take it right to the center. That radius, I prefer to put it in 3D. It's much easier that way. Okay, at this point, we're having tangents from this point to there. Escape and enter to get back into the line. Left click, drag, left click, escape and enter. And then we have a vertical tangent here from down there, from there to there. And escape and enter, do the next one as well. And let's start with our constraints. Tangent, 1, 2, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click. Do the same for the top, left click, and 1, 2. Let's go to trim and trim all these things away. Okay, that was our trim. Let's go back to our drawing. We need a gap there. We will put in the gap. And let's just go to trim again. Let's get that done and over with. And let's start to extrude. We have everything there. Let's go start to extrude. That's our drawing. There we have that shape. The first thing that we're going to extrude is that cylinder. Go straight across by 60. The other cylinder, the other part there, this whole part, that whole shape there, you can see that whole shape. It protrudes for a distance of 70 millimeters. You can totally see it's 70. So it's 60 and 70. Let's go do that quickly. If we extrude, click, and I'm going to go for a double, 60, and enter, or OK. Let's finish the sketch. Right click, share sketch. That's what we're looking for. Share sketch. If we extrude, let's do a double, and that will be 70 millimeters. And OK. Let's do the next one. Let's first go read our drawing. We're having a distance of 6 and 18 and 6 again. So what we're going to do, we're going to extrude it by 6 plus 6 plus 18 is 30. And if we extrude, double, 30. Okay. Going back to our drawing, we need a gap of 18 millimeters, and let's go put it in. If we extrude, click on the shape again, double it, and we're looking for 18 in the center. Cut and press OK. There we have our drawing. Okay. Well, that's what you have. If you don't want to see any dimensions, right click and just click on visibility. It will remove the dimensions. Now this is what we have so far. That's done. Now we're going to the drawing that you need to submit. We're going to generate a new page. Clicking on that new, left click. Make sure it's on metric. Go straight down. Move across with the slider and click on ISO DWG. Double click. This is the page that you will save and submit. So click save. You need to type in your surname, your initials, student number. Okay, that's my student number, and I'm pressing save. Now my drawing is saved. It automatically picks up my name there, as you guys can see. That's the file name. And let's go and do the drawing. Go to the top left hand corner, left click, click on base. Okay, I haven't saved the part. Let's call the part as well. You can call it the same name that you want. Miller T 809789 273. This is saving the part file. Save. Okay, that's your part file. That's your DWG. That's your IPT. As you can see, that's your DWG. The one you will submit is your DWG. Now we can see that this view is very small and we need to increase the size after you went to base. And let's go and make this 1:1. There's your scale. Remove the 2. 1:1. I think that size is more or less desirable. Okay, I'm going to say OK. And that's what we have. Keep your cursor on there. Keep in left click. Make sure you see the red rectangle first, the dotted line. Keep in left click. Drag it to the top left hand corner. You can do it in first angle or third angle. I stick with first angle. Okay, so you decide which one you want to use. So now you go to projected. Once your first view is there, you go to create, click on projected, move out to the right hand side, left click, right click, create with your left click button. Let's go look at the top. Let's go to create projected. Okay, this one doesn't come out. If it doesn't come out, keep your cursor on the left, on the dotted red square. Left click, go downwards. Once you're at the desired position, left click, right click, create. Okay, let's go back again. Create, project. I'm going to put in a small 3D view there. Clicking on the red dotted square. Left click, move out to the side. Then I'm going to click left click, right click. Keep your cursor on create and left click again. Now double click on this square, this dotted square for the 3D view if it doesn't fit in properly. Double click with your left click button and change your scale for that view to 1:2. Or whichever size you prefer to get it proper. Now you need to dimension this. First you're going to dimension your circular shapes, your radiuses and all that. I can see I didn't include a radius there, and I'm going to include the radius and the holes. So I'm going back to my drawing to edit. You can put it in the beginning, there's no problem. So I'm left clicking on there, and I'm going to click on modify, fillet, and I know underneath there the fillet needs to be 5. Of course, you can do this before the time or afterwards, doesn't matter. There's my fillets of 5 millimeters radius and say apply. Okay, going back, and you'll be able to see that in my drawing, my fillets is included. Now I'm going to go do my holes. Modify, hole. And I'm clicking there on the surface where I want the hole. I want the hole to be counter bore. Now I'm typing in my dimensions, which is 14, 10, and 4 high. It's already put in there. You guys can see this. We got 14 millimeters for the diameter there. We got 10 millimeters for the diameter there. And we got 4 millimeters in height. You can change the values the way you want to at this point here. All of these can be changed. Now we're going to look at the distance this hole will need to be positioned. From that point to there, we need a distance. All you do is just click on the line. Let's say hole. These dimensions is already there, so you're gonna click in the center. Then you click on your first line, and you're gonna type in 20.5. That's the center. And then I'm clicking on the second line. That's about 38. Sorry, it's 35. And OK. And that's exactly what you want. So going back to your drawing, you can see your holes has appeared and it's going through the centers there. The next thing you need to do is to dimension. We're going to go to annotate, dimension. And now you first start with your diameters within your radiuses. That's your first one. You can put that on 0 to be able to get it proper. Second one, 0. Third one, which is your radius there. There we go. And then my final radius, which is at this point, and that is 5. Okay, now you're going to go look at your circular distances. Very important, the distance from there to there. That's your circular distance there. And then we're going to look at the circular distance here. Okay, these are my circular distances. And now we're going to look at lengths, heights, and widths. That is the length of my drawing. I can go and do this. Length number 1. Then I'm going to go for length number 2. Just make sure it's nicely distant from one another. And is there any other lengths that we need to look at? The length there is already given by that radius. So in this drawing, there is no other lengths that can be looked at. Okay. Right. Now we're going to go look at the widths. From there to there, we need to put in a width. That is 60. From here to there, there's another width that needs to be put down. That is 70. We also have a width from there to there. I'm coming down nicely. And that width there will be 30. And I'm going to put a width at this point here, which is 6 millimeters. Right, by that you'll be able to minus and get what's the distances there. That's in the center, so you can minus and get these distances. So it's fine. You don't need any other widths, except now going to look at these holes. We've got that hole there is 14 and 10, so we don't need to put it in as a width here because we already have it in as diameters. What we do need is the height. Now we're going to be busy with heights. So we are done with widths, we are done with lengths, so let's look at the heights. We got 4 there, putting in 0, and we're having a height here of 16. Make sure your distances are consistent. Look at the distance there. Let me take it up a little bit more and take this a little bit closer so it can look much better. Let me just put it back. It seems it doesn't want to slide. And 0. Okay. And there we have it. The total height there, we've got the height. Now we need the distance from this point to that center or to the center. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing. I'm going to put it down as 38. Which is already there. Let's align these two dimensions so that it can look consistent. That's more or less okay. So we've got a height there. We've got that as 4. By minusing the 16, the 4 from the 16, we can have that height. This height there is 5. We've got the height from that point to that center. We've got the height from this point to that center. And we have the radius there if we need a total height. So all the heights are there. All the widths are there. All the lengths are there. And we can also say that all the circle radiuses is there. And diameters. We also have the distances between circles. So all the dimensions is there. This drawing can now be manufactured. So this part can now be manufactured in the workshop. And now all you need to do is to fill out these blocks. All these blocks need to be filled out, okay? Make sure you have this included and your name is there, and you can give it a name, let's say for instance bearing block. But however guys, please go look at the drawing where you need to fill out your title block. I have created a video for you guys to do that. Okay, thank you very much. Save your drawing. Yes to all. Okay, and now you're going to send this to me. Make sure you save it at a proper. You will be sending the DWG file with all your title block filled in. Make sure you follow the drawing that I've given you on how to fill out the title block. Please fill it out in that manner and then submit it to Ulink.